Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another NIKKE video. So this is again a video recorded on the live stream, which usually happens around reset time. So if you catch me there, that'll be good. This video is going to be about the simulation room. So personally, I think simulation room is a very repetitive mode. However, it does drop some key materials. As you can see, it drops the data set, the fast 1 hour fast forward dataset, as well as skill manuals for your skill upgrades, for the normal skills as well as the burst. And there are different difficulties that you need to pay attention to, and these unlock as you progress throughout the game. So one thing I personally didn't know before is that if you clear the highest difficulty, okay, and you clear the C ranking, you actually clear everything beforehand. That's actually what I did not know, and I would always just go from 1A and go all the way to 2 and then all the way to 3 and clear C, and I feel like, okay, so now I've collected everything beforehand. But you don't actually have to do that. You go to number 3 or whatever your current highest is, and you work from A to C. All right, there is, however, one benefit from starting at the very beginning. So after you go through every I guess difficulty like A, B, and C, at the end you'll be able to inherit one buff, and you can bring that buff into the next difficulty. So if you do, for example, start at 1 instead of 3, you get 2 extra buffs, all right, from 1 and 2, which means it can technically allow you to tackle more difficult levels. However, if you're way ahead of your current highest one, then you can just start at the current highest difficulty and go from A to C, and allow you to clear and grab everything beforehand in terms of the reward. So that is the reward system. So when you start, for example, there's gonna be a few things as you go through. So some tips and tricks is you need to look at your buffs. The buff chains are essentially bonus, I guess, stats, not stats. The buffs get buffs. That's the easiest way to explain it. So let's say you have a triangle buff that gives attack damage or crit rate. If you have more triangles together, for example, you have 3 triangles together, that crit buff goes to level 2, which means it'll increase in higher value. So what you want to do is find buffs that share the same symbol, whether it be triangle, square, circle, and is this a rhombus? I forgot. I failed geometry, so I don't know what this exactly is called. The chat can for sure help me there. But there are also buffs that are later very important, okay, that can convert all of your buffs into the same shape, and when you have to grab these when they come up. So let's just take a first look. So these stages, if your power level is higher, okay, then the recommended, you can use quick battle to skip the entire fight. All right, and then you get to pick, you can see the rarity of the buff. So SR is obviously going to be better than ours. You can see what it's effective for, and you can click on the icon to see what units it affects. And then you can see the shape on here. So let's say you're doing a run, and starting out you want crit rate stacking, and those are not the units you're using right now. So you look past that, and it looks like nothing is good at the moment except this one, because your main DPS is there. So you can pick this one up and start working towards square buffs, and you can reach hard levels where you cannot skip using quick battle, but you can use a manual or auto to fight through it in game. And the goal again is to stack as many buffs as you can with higher rarity. Okay, high rarity, same shape. However, don't worry if it's not always the same shape, because later on there'll always be something that you can choose that allows you to change all of the shapes into the single same shape and unlock that buff level 5, which means that the efficacy of the buff is going to be increased because you have 8 buffs of the same chain type. So that is essentially a quick guide on the simulation room. Personally, I don't like this mode at all. I felt like if you clear all the way to, let's say right now my level is 3-C, then you should just let me collect rewards up to 3-C every single day without me having to go through 3A, 3B, and 3C. That's my honest opinion. Okay, but I understand that yeah, that's not how it is. And also there's a reset timer, so you can see that it does reset every single time, every single day. However, you can also end simulation. All right, if you fail a run, it's not the end of the world. Click end simulation and you will be able to do it again. All right, you can start wherever you want to. So let's say 3 was too difficult for you, needed that legacy buff from 1C and 2C, then you can just end simulation, begin simulation, and restart from the beginning, collecting the legacy buffs and then tackling 3 again. So not a lot of people know that you can just retry. But I agree, the developers definitely need to figure out a way to allow us to clear this quickly, because I don't want to go through 3 ABC again. Just let me sweep C, because that's the highest level I've done. Okay, but anyhow, that is the guide for the simulation room. Hope this was clear. Do this every single day because it gives valuable materials for your skill upgrades and your burst upgrades. Yeah, that is the simulation room guide, and it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.